small your home may seem to you. Because little becomes much as you place it in the master's hand. So again, welcome everyone. Before I get into the thick of things, I want to just thank each of you for taking the time to come out and support my event. I can think of so many other places that you could be other than here. Tonight, I want to have a heart-to-heart talk with you about you and fighting for the life you want. You are looking at a guy who grew up not liking to read or study, and as a young man, I never really focused on personal development for myself. And it was not until one day when I light bulb, flip it on, but briefly I was like, if I want more out of life, I have to become intentional about my own personal growth and development. So tonight, I have 3 questions that I want you to think on, and although I don't want you to answer them at this moment, I want you to reflect on each one with sincere intent. My first question, if I was to tell you, the moment you begin to shift how you think about yourself and your circumstances, both you and your circumstances will begin to change. Would you re-examine your current way of thinking? My second question, if I said everything you ever wanted was on the other side of fear, do you see yourself moving towards that very thing that you desire? And my third question to you, if you knew you would not fail, what would you do? So think about those 3 questions and keep them in the forefront of your mind as I share with you a short story about a farmer. And yes, a farmer. I believe we can learn 1 or 2 things from a farmer. In fact, I believe we can learn something from anyone. This farmer's experience portrays the story of many of our lives, and it forces us to challenge our status quo way of being, meaning that it makes us look at just how comfortable we really are in our comfort zone. Just how comfortable we are being in our comfort zone. So here's the story. After a long and particularly grueling week of work, a farmer walked into town to relax and have dinner at a local tavern. That was innocent enough. The problem was, he didn't stop at one drink. He kept drinking and drinking and drinking until the bartender just flat out to refuse to serve him another round. And I know you're probably saying, well, this sounds absolutely nothing like my story. But if you stay with me, I think you'll get the point that I'm trying to make. So the farmer gathered himself up and began to stumble home. It was only a mile walk home, but in his condition, it took him forever. So he decided that he would take a shortcut through his neighbor's property and garden, which by the way was filled with rose bushes. The roses hadn't budded yet, so the bushes were more thorns than flowers. And can you say dangerous? This was dangerous for a drunk man stumbling home. Well, the farmer tripped over his untied shoelaces and he landed backwards into a bed of thorns. He tried to push himself up quickly, but his balance was so far gone he just landed right back where he started. So he laid there for a few minutes contemplating what to do, but the alcohol got the best of him and he dozed off to sleep. This is a quick commercial break. So how many times have we taken our problems to bed at night thinking that in the morning somehow everything will work itself out? Alright, so just think about that. So the next morning, the farmer awoke, startled, literally startled at all of the bushes around him. When he tried to jump up, he felt the most excruciating and stinging pain he ever experienced. He even tried to gently extract himself from the thorns, thorn by thorn. But the slightest movement was so painful, he decided it wasn't worth it to move at all. Instead, he just laid there still as he could in his bed of thorns. Hating where he was, yet paralyzed by fear at the thought of moving. I'll say that again. I want you all to lean in and hear me when I say, hating where he was, yet paralyzed by fear at the thought of moving. And for those who still didn't quite get it, that we can put it. Hating that you've been working on that same job for many years and you continuously feel devalued and unappreciated, yet paralyzed by fear at the thought of moving. Hating that you've been unhappy for some time now in that relationship because of some emotional, physical, psychological abuse, yet paralyzed by fear at the thought of moving. Got one more. Hating that every time you share your dreams and your aspirations with your family members and close friends, they laugh at you and minimize the future you, yet paralyzed by fear at the thought of moving. You know, being stuck in life is kind of like the farmer in the story. Whether you're living a humdrum life, or working a dead-end job, or you're in a non-loving relationship, or you just somehow have found yourself centered around people who are energy drained and negative all the time, it's all more or less the same. Now you can get up, you can move forward, but if we can be completely honest with one another, sometimes it feels more comfortable to simply stay put than bear the pain of making a change. Whether the pain is real or it's the mental anguish from the procrastination or from anxiety or from frustration, self-doubt, negative self-talk, or good old faithful fear, getting unstuck requires movement and activity. It requires a proactive attitude, meaning that you take responsibility for the decisions you make in your life. My book, Facts for the Life You Want, A Dreamer's Guide to a Happier Life, it is a personal development and self-help book that forces you to step outside of your comfort zone, to develop new ways of thinking to combat negative self-thinking, and to learn strategies that's going to help move you closer to making those sustained positive changes in your life. I want this book to serve more as a practical guide for you to becoming the best version of yourself. Each of us was created with a purpose. There's an internal version of yourself that is fully equipped with unique gifts, talents, and passion. That true version of yourself can be suppressed, starved, ignored, or it can be nurtured and given the freedom to grow. The choice is yours. You're not a carbon copy of anyone else. If you were, you'd be dispensable. And anyone, literally anyone, could fill your shoes and purpose in life. But they absolutely cannot. I want you all to know that you each have a gift to share with the world. And if you're asking the question, well, what is my gift? How do I know I have a gift? Let me tell you, your gift is that divine spark that you were born with. It is that certain something that you were created to live and be. When you are operating in your grace place and walking out your life purpose, it doesn't matter how difficult the journey is. It doesn't matter how long it takes for you to evolve into exactly who you are called to be. When we actively suppress the very part of our being that wants to dream and grow and instead force ourselves into paths that we imagine to be less risky or more practical, we are settling to live a life that we were never meant to live. You can have all the education in the world, but if you don't find yourself reaching closer to your individual life purpose, something will always feel off. It is that unsatisfied knowing that many of us can't quite put our finger on. By nature of my occupation, I've been a therapist for over 22 years now. I started at 10 years old. I've had many conversations with dying patients, and patients at the end of their life express regret for not being and doing more in life. And they all essentially said the same thing to me. John, live your dreams, live your life. Live your dreams, live your life. They've all said that. So, as I close, I want to leave with you some powerful words that each time I read them, it brings a sobering awareness as to just how important it is for me to live my dreams, live my life. International and world-renowned motivational speaker Les Brown often speaks about unfulfilled dreams. And he says, imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed are the ghosts of the ideals, the dreams, the abilities, the talents that were given to you by life. And that you, for whatever reason, you never acted on those ideas. You never pursued those dreams. You never used your talent. We never saw your leadership. You never used your voice. You never wrote that book. And there they are standing around the bed looking at you with large, angry eyes saying, we came to you, and only you could have given life to us. But now we must die with you forever. So the question is, if you died tonight, what dreams, what ability, what gifts, what talents will die with you? Live your dreams, live your life. Most importantly, fight for the life you want.